Hello and welcome to Studio 122. Today we're going to be interviewing Julius Chilindica, who is a student here at the Texas A&M University of Commerce. He's a student here involved in the East Texan newspaper. Julius, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
So, how did you start getting involved in the East Texan?
Well, actually, it was last semester. One of my friends, Kerry, he used to be an editor for the East Texan. He actually graduated last semester as well. He got me into it. He basically just asked me if I was interested in joining. I went to a meeting, enjoyed the environment, so I stayed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What kind of environment was it?
It was a really welcoming environment. I could tell that everybody, got their ideas and their inputs into the paper, and it was like a team effort, like every single step of the way. And I really enjoyed that. So,
As a team, how many people are there on it?
We have about around 22 members on the team altogether.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what is your role in the newspaper?
I am an editorial cartoonist, which means that I do illustrations for like the headlines of papers, which could be anything from a comic strip to just like a simple picture that like basically illustrates what you're about to read. So if you ever see anything that's not a picture, like not a photographed picture, an illustration, chances are I might have drawn it. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Cool. As a team, do you guys ever have any difficulties, like trying to put the paper together?
Um, Not any that I can think of. Maybe a couple of deadline issues, because what you usually you have the writers who would like go out and write their stories, and then they have to bring them back before a certain time, so that the editors can figure out where to put them in the paper and stuff like that. So if anybody's late on a deadline or something like that, that can cause problems for the paper, especially because they'd have to spend like extra hours just fixing the layout, just to put the story in.
Oh, speaking of deadlines, when is the paper published and how often?
It's once a week. For the last couple of weeks, there have been weeks where we haven't published, and that's just because the journalism department has been busy with TIPA, a competition for basically journalism departments like across the state. And yeah, so once a week, every Thursday, there should be a new issue coming out.
A new issue.
So look out for that.
So, what kind of content is on the paper that you guys try to push out?
Anything from local to national news can be like something that we would be interested in, and basically you have like the writers basically choose like the topics that they want to, and yeah, the topics that they want to write over, and then you have your editors who give story ideas, and they just pick from which ones they want. So some of them would be like something over like the presidential election, which is passed by now, but anything like that, or something local, like the shootings in Commerce,
Yeah.
Any of those can be on the paper.
Well, if you're joining us, we are interviewing Julius Chilindica, who is a student here at Texas A&M Commerce. He's involved in the East Texan newspaper. Julius, I have another question. That question escaped me, I'm sorry. What kind of work have you previously done, like beforehand? Like what interest have you gotten to just join besides going?
Well, I've always been interested in sketching and art and doing things of like that nature. And yeah, usually when I'm not doing anything else, I'm just like doodling or sketching, something like that. So when my friend came to me with the idea of being an editorial cartoonist, it was really just like something that I didn't really have to think much about. I could just like get on. It's like something that I do anyways, So doing it for an organization was like kind of a good move on my part.
Oh. Cool. So have you had any issues with like working with other people? Or?
All of the work that I do is basically collaboration, because I have to know the story that I'm going to be drawing over. So I do work a lot with the writers that are writing the stories if I'm going to do the editorial cartoon for them, but I haven't really had any troubles with that. You know, they're really good at giving me like the information that I need to really create the concept for the illustration.
Oh.
Yeah.
What kind of illustrations do you do? Like besides like the whole outline and what's not taking photos of? Like, do you ever have to edit something like a picture or anything?
Occasionally I'll have to like work with like different mediums. Like I sometimes I'll have to use like Illustrator or Photoshop to get, you know, how do I explain this? To get like the desired effect on the illustration, or that I need. But mostly it is just like sketching and tracing over and basically that's just like scanning it, running through like that.
Oh, cool. Is there anything else you feel like you should talk about in the newspaper?
Yes, the East Texan is currently looking for we're always looking for new writers and new people to join. So if you're interested in writing or doing cartoons or anything of that nature for like for the journalism department, that'd be great. Just come on down and yeah, they'll definitely accept you.
Well, this has been Studio 122. I'm sorry. We have interviewed here Julius Chilindica, who is a student here at Texas A&M. He is part of the East Texan newspaper, and thank you for joining. This is Lorenzo, Studio 122.